Good morning, everybody. It's Beckie Belote. I am a creative memories advisor in Newport News, Virginia, and I have noisy dogs. That's not what I was going to tell you. I was going to tell you I love making page spreads to show you guys. And today I am messing around with our border punches. So we've got a lot of different border punches, but the ones that are going to work really nicely with this are your borders that when you punch them, they don't fall off the paper. Okay, so it'll give you a lovely border across the top, but it won't fall off unless you cut it off. All right. So we've got border punches that do both things. But like the geometric, that's a current one that will work. Just gave her a treat, so she's not getting another treat. I always call it mandella burst, and that's probably saying it wrong, but mandella, maybe mandella burst, maybe that's say it. That will work. Hey, Jeff. This is the diamond art. Now this one will be different, but it will work. Okay. So anyways, I just wanted to show you some that would work. Oh, and I also have one that I made with the spider punch that is new. And I don't see it. Hey, Jeff, can you see if Gracie wants to play with you for a minute? This is the spider web. Maybe let Gracie out. She's interrupting my YouTube video, and I look like a total idiot. All right. So we're going to use one of those on this today, and I'm going to be using some papers from the seasonal sightings. I think that's the name of it. It's the new Christmas line. It's kind of Christmassy, holiday-y, snowy. It's got a lot of like, I think it'll take you through Christmas and beyond. Really pretty. And if you get it as a bundle, it comes with some really cool punches that will go really nicely with it, and you'll get a free paper tap pack. I don't know if I've told you all that yet, but actually a lot of our sets right now are coming with a $10 free paper pack if you get the whole collection. And if you've ever watched the way I scrapbook, I use the whole collection. I think that's one of the beauties of shopping with us, is that everything is like Geranimals, it matches. And so it's no mystery that my pages look really good, because I don't try to mix different lines together, because sometimes it looks like you've shopped at two totally different stores. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you may want it to go together, but it just doesn't. It's like not the right color tones, not the right style. This is really nice altogether. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this page spread. I'm going to be using my straight trimmer today. I will be using, like I said, one of these punches that I just showed you. In fact, I'm using geometric today, but you could use spider if you're doing happy hauntings. Use the spider web. It's beautiful, and I've done one with it. It's beautiful. And you know, some of the blades, different blades that come with that trimmer. If you're a crafter, by the way, you should have our trimmer. When you discover how long you've gone without it, you'll be really sad. So even if you're not a scrapbooker, if you just like to craft, you should have our trimmer. It's amazing. All right, so let me go ahead and change the screen for you guys. I'll stop yapping and we'll get on with this. All right, so the first thing that I want you to do is find your, I'm going to do a double page spread. So I'm going to do matching pages. This is we'll make a beautiful title page too. So if you need to do a title page, just do one sheet of paper today. And I'm going to cut off a 1/2 inch border around the edge. You've seen me do this before. I have no idea if we have new viewers today, so I'm not going to go too fast. This is really easy to do with our trimmer. If you take a Sharpie and mark off a 1/2 inch at the top and a 1/2 inch at the bottom, the easiest way to do that is we have this ruler that you cannot see on the screen, but there's a ruler right here that has all the little tick marks. And if you go down to the 1/2 inch mark, so here's the 1 inch. If I go back to the biggest niche that comes out there, that's your 1/2 inch. And if you just take your Sharpie and put a black mark there and then go down to the bottom, our trimmer is a little bigger than 12 inches for a variety of reasons. So if you go down to the very bottom, that's really bigger than 12. So you want to go up to your 12, up to your 11, and then go in between to the big notch that sticks out. That's your 1/2 mark that you want. And you're going to put a mark there. Okay. If you do that, the rest of this is very simple. On your trimmer, the first prominent line to the right side of your mat strip is your 1/2 inch mark. So I'm going to stack my 2 pieces of paper. You've never done this before. You may want to try it with a scrap, but you'll get really good at it fast because it's really super easy if you do those markings, like I said. All right, so I'm lining up to that first line. That's the 1/2 inch mark. I'm going to line up my little side of my cartridge has a big white mark there that comes on the trimmer. I'm going to line that big white mark up to that 1/2 inch mark that I drew with my Sharpie. And I'm going to keep going down until I get to this 1/2 inch mark. So my little line is on top of the 1/2 inch mark. After you do that, pick up your pieces of paper together and do it all the way around. So I'm going to do this fast now so that you all don't get bored. For those of you that know how to do it. So 1/2 inch mark down to the 1/2 inch mark. Flip, line it up to the 1/2 inch mark, which is that first line to the right of my mat strip. Go up this line to the 1/2 inch mark, down to the 1/2 inch mark, and then one more flip. So I'm putting it to the 1/2 inch mark. Now I'm lining this up to the 1/2 inch mark. And same thing down at the bottom. All right. So what you have done is you've cut off a 1/2 inch. Ooh, I somehow missed a little bit. How about that? So I'm not going to panic because I was pretty precise. I am going to go right back to where I was. I'm going to line it back up to that 1/2 inch mark. Make sure my papers are nice and snug together. And I don't know where I missed, but I did miss somewhere. We can use this little measuring thing to make sure I am right on track. It looks pretty stinking good. So I am just going to go back up to the 1/2 inch mark, give it a little bit more pressure. There, I heard it cut. So that sounds good. All right. So now, and sometimes in the corners you'll miss, and that's not a big deal. Typically you just tug it and it will pull off. All right. So I'm going to put these aside. We're going to use these. Just not now. All right. Now, what I'm going to do, I am going to, what did I do with this on the one I really like? What I did, I'm going to cut it in half. So we just cut off a 1/2 inch all the way around. So here's a little math question for you. If you have a 12 by 12 piece of paper and you cut a 1/2 inch off all the way around, how big a square do you have? That's right, 11 inches. So I want you to cut it in half. So 1/2 of 11 inches, what would be that? That would be 5.5 inches. Now, your 5.5 mark is right in this groove here. Okay, so I am going to cut it in half. Okay. Then what we're going to do, and you know what, this next step, truly, I've tried it in a couple of different places. You can score it in the middle. I'm going to score at the 8 inch mark. So I'm going to grab my scoring blade. I am going to rotate my paper so that it's a big horizontal rectangle. Don't forget, it's a score, not a cut. And I'm going to line it up so that the paper is at the 8 inch mark down here. All right. Do the same thing to the other side. I don't recommend doing all 4 of these at the same time. Sometimes I will, not in this case. All right, so we're gonna do 8. Scoring is a little dicey because if you score that many at a time, sometimes the third and fourth don't get scored very well. And then you're not gonna have a really nice fold. And we need a nice fold for this. All right, this next step. Did I don't think I did this next step all at the same time either. Okay, so pay attention. This is not hard, but I want you to pay attention. So what I am going to do something funny with this corner and this corner. If you think you're going to forget, I would take a marker and put a dot in the top of that corner and that corner. So we're taking these two, putting them side by side. I'm going to do something with this corner and this corner. All right. And I am going to do it with geometric this time because I've already done one to show you with this one, and I've already done one to show you with the spider. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to flip your punch upside down. The geometric has a very prominent middle. Mandala burst has a very prominent middle. Spider has a very prominent middle. You're going to put it upside down so that your corner goes through the middle, and you want to keep pushing until, and I'm going to show you what it looks like once I've done it. And sometimes, and this time I'm going to have to, sometimes you're going to need to use your multi-purpose to get it where you want. I want it to kind of go farther than it's supposed to. So I want to, actually, it's going to go now. So basically what I've done is I've mushed it in there. I'm not push it all the way through until you can see better. So I've mushed it in there so that this track is on the paper and that this little point is actually kind of sticking up above the actual punch. Okay. I really kind of want it a little bit more. I'm going to push. Oh, there we go. That's even better. Okay. So I'm going to get closer. So the paper is really squished. This is the paper tip here. It's really squished in there. All right. So we're going to punch there. All right. And now we're going to do the same thing to this corner here. Check out any guts, any punch guts. Somebody calls them punch poo. I don't know, whichever one you prefer. Halloween, I think guts is perfect. All right, so it's really kind of fighting me. Usually it goes in a lot easier, but I'm just really kind of pushing. Okay, I just need to use both hands is what's happening. All right, so pushing it up, make sure it's centered, and then we're gonna mash it. All right, we're gonna do the same thing to the other two, and somehow I did the wrong corner. So this is not an emergency because I get another chance. So I guess I should have marked my corners. I wanted to do this corner. So if you mess up like I do, it's no biggie because you have another set unless you do it 2 times in a row. Just really mashing it in there, forcing it in there. That's what I want, that look. And then we want to do this one. We're going to do this corner here. Oh, I don't want that to happen again with my little goof that I did. It's just a temporary goof though, not a real like blow it out of the water goof, right? All right, so there we go. Now, what is Becky going to do with this? Let's see. All right, so first thing I want something to build on. I think I'm going to build on red. I always make these fresh in front of you, so I never really know if it's going to look good or not until I do it. So we're going to look and see if I think it's going to look pretty. So we'll put this down here just to see if I like. Oh yeah, I do like it. Okay, so I'm going to put, well, you know what? Ooh. All right, so I cut this to put it back in. Do we, I kind of like that too. So it's up to you. You know, I really, it looks kind of pretty without it too, doesn't it? We have a decision to make. We can put it back or not. I think since I plan to put it back, I'm going to put it back. All right. Sometimes with these squiggly ones, I am using repo on this squiggly one, which is what I would highly recommend because it's wiggly and squiggly and easy to not put it on quite straight. And if you put it on not quite straight, Repo will let you move it without tearing your paper. All right, so I'm going to put the bottom, line the bottom up, and I'm going to go around the side. You could also put it on the paper. I just kind of think it's a little bit easier with big obnoxious ones like this to do it this way. All right, and now we're going to put this back in. This is the seasonal sidings paper line. Do you like that? Oh, I said it again. Bonnie Gourlay, sorry. Just comes out of my mouth. It's really weird, you guys, when you're doing this and it's like you're kind of, you know, crazy because you're talking to nobody, but really I am talking to you guys, right? All right, so there we go. All right, and so then what we're going to do, I'm not going to make the other page in front of you. I think I'm going to use some red. I'll tell you what I find works really well with this is 3x5s. So I'm going to do some 3x5s. So here's my 3-inch with a scoring blade. So we will not be cutting with the scoring blade. All right. A couple 3x5s. They're going to go really nice right here. And then how about a circle? I think I'm going to do a white circle with a red mat. So if I'm going to do my circle in white, I'm going to make that 4-inch. If you're using the blue templates, it would be the smaller one is the closest to this. All right, so this is going to be my mat. I mean, my photo. I mean, it's going to be my bottom mat. I'm double matting, by the way. That's why I'm doing 4, so that when I cut a 4-inch photo into a circle, it'll still be a perfect mat. And then I'm going to do about a 4.3. I like this for cutting paper, you guys. I like it a lot because it gives me so much more versatility in my sizing without having to guess which pattern to pick and which blade to pick. It's just a little bit faster for me. So I like that. And then maybe one more mat, probably like a 4x4. Go down this spot, 4x4. 4, flip it over, line it up to the 4, go to your cut and go back. All right. So there you have it. If I probably would add some little embellishments to this. Maybe not something so matchy. Maybe there. Looks prettier. And maybe a little combo there. All right, so anyways, I want to show you close how pretty that looks. All right, and now I'm going to show you some other pages that I've made. All right, so this one I made with the Croptoberfest line. All right, so this one I did my opening here. So you could rotate it any direction. All right. This one was the exact same style that I just taught you, but I rotated it here so that my openings were here. And to be quite frank, I think the tonal color, so in other words, this is not printed. or it is a print, but you can barely tell it's a print. I think it's prettier than what I did here. So I thought this was a big enough print that it wouldn't be too distracting, but I think it is. So anyways, it's still pretty, but I think this is prettier. And this is the Croptoberfest line. Y'all, this one probably will not be around too much longer because we're in Croptoberfest season, but it will go away soon. And this is really a very pretty line. And let me tell you a secret. Your advisor, it will get some free door prizes to give away to her clients if she sells a certain amount. So if you like this, don't just sit on your haunches and not buy it. Go buy it from your advisor because it is really pretty. This is probably one of my favorites. So anyways, I just added some embellishments that came from the pack that came with the Croptoberfest paper pack. This was I would get the bundle because it's got everything you need to do really pretty pages. All right, so there's that. And then I did one more, and I really liked what I did on this one. So this one is more of a title page or an end page because it won't have a facing one. I mean, it could. I certainly could have done one, but I didn't. And I put on the crease, I actually put a border strip there. After I did the cut, I scored it in the middle, and I did not do the border around. So if you don't want to do the border around, what do you think? Is that pretty too? All right. And then for my journal box, what I did is I took my white and I just took my border maker gadget and I just punched the paper without the tool. I just centered it and wham, punched it right through. All right. And so those are not little bats that I cut out. That was from the border, and the black mat is showing through. And I took the trash that came out and I just added little embellishments down there. So I hope you like this. See how much prettier. I just feel like this pops so much more on more of a tonal. So when you're trying this, grab some tonal papers. I think it's going to give you a much prettier look than what I demonstrated. But I hope you like these ones that I did. So this is spider web, believe it or not. See the spider webs? And this one is mandala burst. And last but not least, this one is geometric. Aren't they beautiful? All right, so I think that's all I've got for you today. I am going to say goodbye by letting you see my face. All right, and I want to thank you again for following me. Share with your friends that it's Scrapbook with Beckie is my handle for YouTube. And I also have a blog that I have been very negligent on, but our class reunion is over. I was in charge of that and it was amazing. It was last weekend. So hopefully I'll get back into the swing of things with my blog. I have a couple that I want to do for you soon. So thank you for watching. Have an amazing rest